Yeah, I've got this feeling, gotta get to you.
Welcome back to the life of Sky with our Ntsei-Sky so fly that's continent, aka pretty cash, pretty money, pretty cash. And it's a new year. Happy New Year. Yo guys, when last have I said these words? It's been such a long time, and there's a lot that's been happening. This is my first life update video. Okay, now child, I feel like it was just relevant for me to just tell you guys what's been cutting here by me since I've been AWOL for a very long time. So I am going to be essentially I asked you guys to ask me questions on the greasy. So yeah, like I'm just going to be answering your questions. So like this, yeah, there's just been a lot that's been going on in my life, like stuff that's also been holding me back from shooting, like my own personal stuff. But you know, I'm back now. That's all that matters, guys. All that matters is that I'm here, I'm filming, and we're back. Okay, in case you guys also didn't know, like the other thing that stopped me from shooting was that I had COVID. So as I'm shooting this video, this is literally my first official week out of isolation. So I've been in my bedroom since the week of Christmas. So since the week of Christmas, I haven't left my bedroom. So this is my first official week out of my room, outside breathing the oxygen in 2021. You know, even though it feels a lot like 2020, but okay. COVID. Guys, like when you guys ask questions like that, like what do you guys want me to say? Like people are like, oh, you have COVID, where did you get it? Like, I don't know, at your mom's house? Like honestly, some things are just so impossible to answer. Like you asked me where I got COVID, I probably got it when I went to go buy bread. I probably don't know, you know what I mean? So I'll probably never know, but I suspect that I got it when I went Christmas shopping. How was it getting your industrial? Because I'm thinking of getting one. Getting my industrial it wasn't that, the only part that was painful was when they pierced the top part of my ear. So that's the part where, like, when they put it in, I was literally just like you know. But essentially, like, it's, if I could rate the pain, I'd give it a steady 6 out of 10. I think you should get it. But it heals like over a space of like 6 to 9 months. So after I got my piercing, I couldn't sleep on this side. I always slept on this side. And even like the smallest thing can just like irritate. Like even if you bump it, like your ear starts like ringing. So you just need to be aware of that. How did COVID affect you? Oh my gosh, guys. Guys, you know the stigma against COVID. Like the day, I remember what had happened was the week of Christmas, like I started getting, I think on Christmas Day I had a headache, and I'm not someone, I never get headaches, like I never have to worry about having a headache. So I'm like, I have a headache, and my back was so sore. Like my back was just like I need someone to stand on my back or something, or really crack my back. Like I keep telling my mom, like, my back is so sore, child. But I was like, just go get me painkillers, like go get a Panado. So she got me a Panado, and I just felt better. And the next day, like I was fine. And then towards the end of like the 26th, I was feeling very like you know when you inhale and when the oxygen pulses and it reaches like this part, you just feel like it's feeling very funky. But then I just let it, I mized it. Then I woke up, but this whole time I've been chilling in my room. So I wake up the next day and my body is sore and my throat is sore. And the other thing is that I actually have a problem of tonsillitis. So I get a fever, my tonsils get sore, like stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like my tonsils are acting up. Like, oh, I was in pain, guys. Like my throat it felt like it was closed. Like sometimes I'd wake up at night thinking like I can't breathe. Simply because, you know, when you inhale with your nose, it automatically is like just gonna pass by your throat. So like it would feel so closed. So then I was like, no, I think I should just my problem is that I also trust myself so much. Like my mom's like, hey, what if you have COVID? I'm like, no girl, it's just a little flu, let me just go to the doctor. So I get there to the doctor and I'm like, nah, I'm just having a little tonsillitis. I'm even like this tonsillitis girl. So then she checks me, and then she's like, your tonsils aren't that bad, like they are swollen or whatever, but like they're not that bad where I can say like it's a tonsil problem. Then she asked me if I'm staying with like chronic people, which I am. So then she was like, hey, for that like reason, for that specific reason, let me just give you like a thing for you to go test. So then I go to test, I go to Lancet, I stand there in the queue, and then I get there, like guys, you wait the whole one thing I don't understand is why do these queues at the labs take so long? Because testing literally takes 3 seconds. Because then I got inside that Lancet and they have that cotton swab. The lady's like, open your mouth. She does that thing and she's like, yeah, you're done. I'm like, done? She's like, yeah, you can go home. I'm just like, that literally didn't even take, guys, I swear unlocking my phone takes longer than that. I don't know why those queues are so long, but anyways, then the next day I woke up, I got an SMS that I was positive. I was like, yo. Obviously I tell my mom, and my mom, she just goes, not like hysterical, but she goes into full panic mode. Like she's like, stay in your room. Then she leaves. I think she went to Discam, she went to buy every sanitary disinfecting thing there was. She came back with a whole bunch of surgical masks, gloves. She came back even with those you know those trolley wipes. She came back with trolley wipes. She just bought everything that's known to man. So she's like, stay in your room. I'm like, yo, yeah, look at you. Like I'm just like, yo, my mom's just jiggling me, like she just wasn't breathing my oxygen a few hours ago. Anyways, so then as I stayed in my room, as time went on, like my throat would still close, and then I would have a fever, and then after that I started losing my sense of taste. So there's this thing that happened, like that happens, it's either that you lose your sense of taste, or like things just start tasting funny. So that's what happened, like things just started tasting funny. Then at some point I couldn't taste anything, and that, I don't know why, I feel like that's low-key one of the worst things that happened to me, because people are like, yeah, but it'll come back. I'm like, you guys don't understand how losing your sense of taste, like it just lowers your quality of life, you know what I mean? Like you essentially can't even look forward to anything, because they would cook and I'm like, yo, this plate looks so nah. Like I feel like I just want to enjoy. It's like if someone gives you like chicken licking or like KFC, you know what KFC tastes like, you get so excited but you know you can't even taste it, you know what I mean? Like it just, there's no excitement, because essentially it's the same thing. You're just taking in food and it goes to your stomach. There's nothing exciting about how it tastes. I started being, at some point it felt like I was blind, guys, the way my sense of taste was completely gone. And then I started having like a feeling like there was mucus in my chest, and yeah, it was just an awkward feeling. Like it wasn't tampering with my breathing, but I just felt like I always had the urge to clear my throat, because I could just feel that I just had like phlegm. And then as time went on, like I started coughing, and I still cough every now and again, like even though I'm fine now, but I could be chilling like this, all of a sudden I'll just have the urge to cough like for a good 5 minutes straight. So it's kind of annoying because there's really no reason for me to be coughing. And then I think one of the most annoying things was that because I was staying in my room for very long periods of time, because when I tell you I wasn't doing anything for myself, like I would stay in my room, my mom would wake me up, I'd go steam, I'd go straight back to my bathroom. Even though the bathroom to my bedroom is such a small distance, like I would have to wear a mask, and then I steam, and then I go back to my room, and then my mom brings me food to my door, and then like I open the door slow, like just a small bit, and then I take my food, and then I close the door. Like guys, I really was not leaving my room at all. So that thing, it's really started to get to me. So like at some point I realized that I was starting to have like delayed responses to stuff. Like I would realize things at a later stage, I'd get confused easily, like just a whole bunch of stuff. Like I just felt like I was going crazy. That's the other thing. Like, oh guys, I'm so glad I'm not stuck in my room. And even when I went to the doctor, I asked my doctor, I'm like, have you ever had COVID? She was like, yeah, I had it, and then I had to be stuck in my room for weeks, and I'm glad that's over. And when she said that, I was just like, why would you say that? Like being in your room is so much fun. Like I could do that all day. Oh my gosh, until I was stuck in my room. I was just like, I need to get out of here, because I just had delayed responses to stuff. Like I would only realize my symptoms at a later stage. Like I think much later did I realize that my sense of taste had been gone this whole time. Like, oh yeah, no, I was really going crazy. Like, I just was really starting to go crazy. Like, at some point I actually started talking to myself, even though talking to yourself was normal. But like I started, like, there's some talking to yourself way, like, you just talk and you just feel like, oh yeah, I'm talking to myself, yeah, I should do this, and then after that, like, I should just study. Like, you have those moments. But like the way I was talking to myself, like, I would pause and I'd be like, dog, like, is this normal for me to just be talking like this? Like, guys, I'm glad, like, because I was starting to be confused, child. Even my New Year's Eve, my New Year's was just so boring, was just so sad, because we're all stuck in our houses. And when I'm just stuck in our houses, I'm stuck in my room. I've been in my room even before New Year's. And then, like, I obviously pray on New Year's, and then I look outside my window and I just see the crickets out there, and I'm just watching, like, and then my mom's like, Happy New Year. I'm like, Happy New Year. It's like, that's so sad. Like, that's so shame, man. Like, did the onions, oh my gosh, if you guys followed me on Instagram, you would have saw that my mom forced me to put onions on my chest. Like, she chopped onions, she put them on my chest, and she put that plastic wrap around my chest, so it was supposed to help. And apparently it's a method that works, but I personally don't feel like it did anything for me. It just gave a very cold feeling. You guys know how onions are. Like, I just started feeling that very, like, that pulse like feeling on my chest. I don't feel like it did anything. How did you find out that you had COVID? I just went to go test, guys. Is there any other way to find out that you have COVID besides going to the laboratory to test? What were you using to treat your COVID? So, like, that's the thing. The other thing, because I was stuck in my room, I wasn't doing anything for myself. But I know my mom every day would give me a hot jug, like a hot my mom would give me hot water with lemon, ginger, garlic. Yeah, I don't know what else she put in there, but that's what she gave me. And then she gave me some Linctagon immune defense, some lemongrass and ginger green tea, called as some vitamin C, the effective relief Carvel. Oh my gosh, guys, this thing is meant to be inhaled, right? So my mom, I think the first day she was in a panic mode. This is like a pill that you need to drop into the hot water and then you inhale it. My mom put it in a hot glass, like in hot water that was meant for me to drink. So I'm tasting this thing, I'm like, this thing tastes like death. Turns out it's supposed to be inhaled. Like, I'm just, my mom, if they said Jeek can cure COVID, my mom would have given it to me. I know someone's gonna say something about me coughing. That's the boring thing about after you have COVID. Like, people, you just cough once and people are just like, and obviously the Beyonce of it all, eucalyptus oil. And then people were like, I saw someone ask me, how did you get back your sense of smell? So I was obviously at a point where I was very frustrated. Like, I don't think you guys understand how frustrated I was. Like, oh, I was, yo guys, that's something that was also mentally like frustrating me. Like, oh my god, I can't smell or taste anything. So I went on Google, I'm like, there has to be something. So I saw they were like, you have to do like smelling exercises. Guys, also that advice is so pathetic. On the internet they're like, you must do smelling exercises where you like inhale things and you try remember what they smell like. What does that even mean? Like, if I know what hoity-toity smells like, how do I make my memory remember what it's a smell? Like, how do I remember what something smells like? They're like, you have to take essential oils and inhale them. So then luckily we have eucalyptus. That's another oil that you can practice with if you don't have any other essential oil. You can use eucalyptus. We have lavender. We also have a lemon scented oil. So I just used to open it. It actually smells normal again. How was your experience at King's Court? I actually feel like essentially every school that I go to, I have the most fun that I can. And it's not necessarily because of the schools that I go to, it's because of me making the fun for myself. Essentially, I also just want to thank you guys for checking up on me. You guys are actually so supportive. Like, when I said that I was sick and I had COVID, like you guys were like so, I mean, I think every day I would get at least like 1 or 2 DMs of people asking me like, so how are you feeling, how are you doing today, like we miss you. People were like sending me like different things like on how to treat COVID. Someone gave me like long paragraphs of like what to do if I feel like this and I feel like that. Like, oh guys, you guys are actually the best, hey. Like, wow, I'm so humble, I'm so grateful. I'm going to get back to filming frequently and editing frequently. Like, this is the first video, and then tomorrow I should be shooting with Komani and Lalo. I know you guys love them so much. And then I should be shooting with Ntsei and Tabang. Like guys, I'm back. Like I'm forcing myself to be as consistent as I can, child. So you just stay tuned. If you guys also miss me like you guys said you did, you guys are also gonna get them subscribers up, and you guys are gonna stop watching my videos while you're unsubscribed. Thank you and goodbye. I shall see you in the next one.
You know I'ma give me my money back, money back, money back. I get my money back, money back, money back, money back.